Hi guys, welcome to a new Plan With Me video. Here you can see my pages for April with my habit tracker fully filled in. And in this video I'm going to make my review pages for April and then make my bullet journal spreads for May. This video is a bit later than usual. I filmed it on the 2nd of May, but then it took me a week to get around to editing it and doing the voiceover, which is why it's going up a bit later, but I hope you still enjoy watching it. So as usual, I'm going to start with a memories page on the left hand side and a review page on the right hand side. For the memories, if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I always go through my calendar and through my photos and see if I have any fun things that I did this month, and I write them down. So this month, as well as the previous month, this has been a bit strange for me, because usually I write things down like I went to have coffee with this person, or I went to this dinner party, or things that I do that we can't do anymore right now because we're all staying at home. But I try to kind of write down smaller things that I enjoyed doing at home, like if we cooked something new, or this month I made my own top for the first time. I took like a pattern making class a while back, and I started sewing again, so that was really nice. So I tried to write down these like small personal achievements rather than social events, which is a bit different than what I would usually write, but it's still nice, I think, to look back on your month and at least have something to reflect on, I think. I'm going to continue using the map that I've been using for April as the theme. And I wasn't sure which part of the map I wanted to use, but I ended up using the title, so Tallinn, which is a city that I visited last summer, because I thought it would be nice to kind of show explicitly what the whole map is referencing, because it's not that obvious from the previous parts that I cut out. And then on the right hand side, I already wrote down my 4 categories, which I review each month, which is mental health, lifestyle, education and career, and creative expression. But I will fill them in off camera because it's quite personal and I prefer not to show it online. And that's it, I think, for these pages. I'm really happy with how this theme turned out. Usually I don't use these very bright neon-like colors, but I really enjoyed how it turned out. So that was it was a nice month to have in my bullet journal. So now we're moving on to the pages for May, and initially I wanted to use this picture that I had from some packaging from a tea towel that my mom bought me. She brought it from San Francisco, I think, and I really liked the print, but then I was going through my box of pictures to see what would match with it, and I found all of these like orange tinted pictures that I think I got from Unsplash, and I printed them out like a while ago, and yeah, I decided on some pictures that looked nice together, as you can see here. And then in the end I didn't end up using the print, but I think I will save it for one of the next months because I still think it's really nice. I was also contemplating on maybe adding some stickers, but I didn't really have any that matched the vibe I was going for, so I ended up just sticking with the pictures I have here on the page. It's very strange to make bullet journal pages in these times, I think. I think that's why I also postponed it so long and didn't get around to making my May pages until it was already May, because it just feels so strange to do planning when it's really not clear what the next month will look like. But if you've seen my previous videos, then maybe you've noticed that my bullet journal is very centered around self-development and self-care, and also I think the main thing I do in my bullet journal is use my habit tracker, which is one of the things that really keeps me on my routines and really helps me a lot with keeping my healthy habits, I guess, which is also why I still wanted to make my pages for May anyway, even though I also have like some parts that are dedicated to what is coming this month and what is going on next month, which isn't that relevant anymore right now because it's not that clear. But I still wanted to have my habit tracker, and I still wanted to have my goals. So yeah, it's kind of keeping me sane a little bit to still continue with the bullet journal, even though it feels a bit strange, I think. So if you're still watching at this point and listening to the voiceover, then maybe let me know down in the comments how you are handling the whole situation, and maybe if you bullet journal, if you're still doing it, if you've maybe adjusted it a little bit to the situation, and yeah, how it's going for you, because I'm really interested in hearing how other people are dealing with the whole thing. I have been considering maybe adding some scheduling aspects to my bullet journal, like a weekly schedule with time blocking and everything. I was thinking about this last month because I feel like it's a bit more difficult right now for me to have a daily schedule now that I'm working from home the entire time and I'm at home the entire time. Maybe if you've seen my PhD bullet journal video, then you know I do have a scheduling method for my PhD. But now that I'm working from home, I find it a bit difficult to kind of divide my time into what time is dedicated to working and what time is dedicated to free time. So I've been trying to kind of plan out my days, not just like my work, but just my day in general, like on paper for maybe the weekends or the weeks. But I find it a bit stressful because if I don't end up doing the things I write down, even if it's relaxing stuff, then I feel really bad about it for some reason. But then on the other hand, if I don't plan it, then sometimes the days end up feeling like this whole big mess, and you don't really know what time it is or what day it is anymore sometimes. So yeah, I've been struggling a bit with how I want to add more structure to my days. So if anyone has also been struggling with this or has some tips, then let me know in the comments. So maybe to talk a little bit about what is actually going on the bullet journal spread. As you can see on the left hand side, I have this title page with a calendar, and then on the right hand side I have 3 sections. The first one is my goals section, which is the upper left, and for this I usually check my resolutions, which is what I'm doing right now, and also my vision boards, which is this page. And I kind of look at these pages and think of what I want to focus on this month, and I'm really not too strict about what I put here. It's usually like small things. I think I wrote I want to finish a book. I also want to try not to think too much about work in the evening, so it's kind of those things. And then what I'm doing right now is a list of things next month. And on the upper right side of the page is an overview of things that are happening this month. So that's basically the 3 sections that I always have in my bullet journal. So that's everything for the front page, and then now I'm going to make my habit tracker. I've been doing this in the same way for a pretty long time now. The habits sometimes change a little bit, but really not that much. I have this fixed set of habits that I always put on there, and then I have some things, like sometimes I will add something or I will change something if I think it's no longer relevant. But yeah, it's been pretty much the same for a while now, and I find this really, really helpful. I'm also not too strict about it. I don't try to fill in all of the habits every day. I don't feel bad about not doing all of them every day. I don't aim to do all of them every day. I have some habits that I know I will probably just do maybe once or twice in that month, and that's okay for me. But this is just as a reminder that the things that I put on my habit tracker are things that are good for me and that help my well-being. And yeah, I think it's a nice moment to have each evening going over all of these things and checking off the boxes. But it's not really like a to-do list, is what I'm saying, I guess. And then since I filmed this on the 2nd of May, I already one day has gone past, so I will fill this in now. What I used to do last year, sometimes I would also make my bullet journal spreads while the month was already going on, and then I would just leave out those days. But when it's just one day, I think I'm still capable of remembering if I did my habits. But if it's more than one day ago, then I find it really, really difficult to fill it in afterwards. So I really need to fill in my habit tracker each day or each 2 days at least, because otherwise I think it would just mostly be empty. And then on the right hand side, I'm going to make some decorations and also put like a small text or a quote, which is also something I do each month. And for this I'm using this metro or train ticket I think I got in Oslo, and also another picture that I think is from Unsplash, but I'm not 100% sure. And then for the quote or the text, usually I go through my notes on my phone, which is what I'm doing right now, and I see if I wrote down anything. And the text I chose for this month is "Let go of anything that is not serving you," which I think I heard in one of Yoga with Adrian's videos, and I really liked the saying, so I decided to put it here. So that's everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're all doing well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Cool.